I hope you have a very good and very great weekend this week. So the week is going to be a very wonderful one to you all. Okay. Am I audible to you all, my dear children? Okay. Fine. So we were in the middle of the supplementary reader. Okay. So what is the name of the supplementary reader, ma? What is the name of the supplementary reader? The story which we are going through? Yeah, very good, Rahini. The name of it is Envious Neighbor. Okay, The Envious Neighbor. It is a Japanese folk tale. As I said, tale is a story which happened long years ago. And this story has happened in the village. So that's why they say it as Japanese folk tale. Okay, here we are looking into two families. Okay, both the families have old people. One family is an honest family, okay, an honest old man and who lives along with his wife, and another family is a family which is very stingy and covetous, okay. So one family is positive and another family is negative. One family shows us how to live and another family shows us how not to live. Is that correct, my dear children? Let me recollect the story for y'all so that y'all might have a better understanding from it. Okay. The honest old man who lived along with his wife had a pet dog along with him. That pet dog, it was very loving and affectionate towards those old people. And the good honest old man and his wife also were very affectionate towards the dog. Okay. And they provided it the best food which they had. Whichever they ate, they fed the dog also with it. They provided it with tidbits, they provided it with rice, everything from the kitchen they gave it. Okay. And one fine day they went to their garden in order to do some agriculture. At that particular time, in one particular place, this dog stood there. And what did it do? It started repeatedly barking. So, and it was wagging its tail also. So the honest old man thought, okay, something is hidden under that, like a delicious food or something is hidden there for the dog. So he didn't want to disappoint the dog. So he took a spade and he started digging. While he dug that place, what happened? To his surprise, there were a lot of gold, silver, and precious articles which were found in under the soil. Overall, so in those days, as I said, anything which is found in your own property belongs to you. So what happened? So overnight, they became very rich. They did not take everything towards them. They started helping the other poor and needy people in and around them by providing them with some gold and silver. And with the rest of the money, they bought rice fields. Okay, plenty of rice fields, corn fields, and then they became very wealthy. All of a sudden, they became very wealthy, and this cannot be taken up by the covetous and stingy family who live next to them. So what did they do? They went to the honest old man. They borrowed their dog. They said, "Okay, let us also become rich. Please lend me your dog so that let your dog find some gold and silver for us also." Like that, they thought. And they borrowed the dog and they took the dog to their house. They provided it with all the delicious food, but the dog did not eat it because usually before this incident had happened, they have repeatedly hit and thrashed the dog always. They were scolding the dog always. All of a sudden, a dog will not become kind towards people who have behaved to it very badly. So, what happened? This dog did not eat anything. The covetous and stingy old couple, they became very angry. Okay, the word which is used there is cross. Cross means what? CROSS. Cross means it is angry. So they became angry. They tied the rope around the dog's neck. They dragged the dog into the garden and asked it to find out the gold and silver in their garden. The dog didn't show any reaction at all. Repeatedly, they were scolding the dog. the dog, what did it do? It stopped at one particular point and it started barking as it did in the good, honest old man's garden. So the stingy and covetous couple became very happy. Okay, this idiotic dog has found something for us. Let us dig it. So they started digging that particular place with their spade. To their surprise, there was only filth, there was only dirt inside it, and there were nasty offal. Nasty offal means which stinks a lot. Okay, they started catching there, and this made the cover with the help of the spade which they had in their hand. They hit on the head of the dog, and the poor dog died at that particular place itself. Without telling it to the neighbors, the good old couple, what did they do? They went near a pine tree, they dug a hole, and they just buried the dog there. And after one day, literally, the dog, literally, what happened? This old couple, no honest old couple, they were wondering why the dog hasn't come back. So they went to the neighbors and they asked about the dog. Then only this covetous, stingy old couple, what did they do? They said, this idiotic dog only showed us some filth. We became very angry and we killed the dog. Like that, they say. This poor, honest old man, he started shedding tears and he asked for the place where the dog was buried. So he went straight to that pine tree and he provided the delicious food which the dog likes. And then he burned some incense stick at that particular place and decorated the graveyard with a lot of flowers. And then he shed some tears there and he came back home. At that particular night, he was fast asleep. So as he was sleeping, what happened? The dog came in their dream and it thanked the good, honest old man for everything he has done to this dog. And also the dog says, go and cut the pine tree. After cutting it, make it into a mortar. Mortar is a wooden material which is used to grind rice. Okay, those days we didn't have any mixies or grinders, so the Japanese people started grinding it using that wooden mortar. So as the dog said, this old man, no honest old man, went and cut the pine tree. He made a mortar of it, and as the dog said, keep it like your own pet. Treat it as me. Treat it like the dog, and they wanted to keep it with them. And the honest old man exactly did it. And when he put some rice into that mortar, to his surprise, all the rice turned into gold and silver and precious ornaments. So now he became richer. Hearing about this, the neighbors, what did they do? They came and asked for the mortar. When they took and they did the same thing, what happened? There was no gold and silver which came out. There was only filth and dirt which came out. So immediately, the covetous and stingy old couple, what did they do? They became very angry. They broke the mortar and they just burnt it into ashes. So this was not known to the good old man. Next day, in his dream, the dog came and said that the mortar was broken and it is burned. So what you have to do is go and get the ashes from that particular jealous old man's house and keep it along with you. When you sprinkle that ash on the withered trees are what? Died trees, no? Dead trees, which are standing like skeleton. If that ash is sprayed on those sort of withered trees, what is going to happen? It is going to sprout out leaves, flowers, and fruits. So a tree can be resurrected. Resurrected means what? A tree can be brought back from death to life with usage of this ash. So the honest old man did the same. He went weeping. He was crying badly because the dog has said this mortar has to be treated like his own pet. So when the mortar has been burnt, he went and pleaded to the jealous old man for the ashes of the mortar. And the jealous old couple thought, okay, it's just ashes. Let me give it. Go, take it and go. Like that they said. Then what happened? This is what we are going to see. So far, is there any doubts with the lesson story, my dear children, until this? Is there any doubts? Okay, Rahini doesn't have any doubt. Very good. All clear, says Ram Harish also. Understood. Very good. Niranjana Devi. Very good. Varuna, Rida Nashmiya, Alvin. Okay. Very good, my dear children. Okay, let me share my screen for now. We will look into the rest of the lesson and we'll conclude it today. I hope the screen sharing is visible to you all. Okay, thank you. So I request every one of you all not to touch the screen when the class is going on, because literally it will disturb the flow of the class. Okay, it's my humble request. I know you all are very good children, so you all will not do that. Okay. So here we are. So this is the withered tree, my dear children. So these are the withered trees. See, trees without leaves. When the ashes are sprinkled on top of the dead trees, they are going to blossom like which is shown in the story. Is that clear, my dear children? So he has, the honest man has taken the ashes from that particular uh, jealous old couple. Okay, they have taken the ashes. Then what happens? We are going to see. We are going to see this from this stanza, from this paragraph. Just look at it. So from here only exactly we are about to start. Okay, fine. Having obtained it, he returned home and made a trial of their virtues upon a withered cherry tree, which upon being touched by the ashes, immediately began to sprout and blossom. When he saw this wonderful effect, he put the ashes into a basket and went about the country, announcing himself as an old man who had the power of bringing dead trees to life again. So he has taken the ashes from the covetous and stingy old couple. They have taken it. He returned home. Initially, he wanted to test it on some tree. So first tree which he chose was a cherry tree. We all know what is a cherry tree, right? A tree which bears cherry fruits. So a withered tree, cherry tree was standing there without any leaves, without any flowers, and without any fruits on it. So this old man, honest old man, went and sprayed some ashes on top of the withered tree. Immediately, what happened to his surprise? It started sprouting leaves and it started blossoming. It became a very beautiful cherry tree. So the dead cherry tree has been revived to life. When he saw this wonderful effect, what did he do? He put the ashes into one basket carefully and he took it around the country. He went around the country telling that he was an old man and he had the power of bringing dead trees to life again. Like that, he was telling, and he went around the country. Then what happens? A certain prince, hearing of this and thinking it a mighty strange thing, sent for the old fellow, who showed his power by causing all the withered plum and cherry trees to shoot out and put forth flowers. So the prince gave him a rich reward of pieces of silk and cloth and other presents and sent him home rejoicing. So what happened? There was a prince in the country, my dear children. He heard about the old man who can resurrect trees, who can revive trees, who can bring the dead trees into alive. So what did he do? He called for the old fellow. This honest old man went there, and there were some plum and cherry trees there. So what did he do? He took some ashes and he started spraying it on the withered trees. All of a sudden, all the trees became lushy green. They started blossoming and they started providing fruits. Okay, there were lots of cherries and plums which were found in the trees. The prince became very happy and he provided a lot of rewards to him. We all know about kings and princes and queens, right? When they are happy with something, what do? They honor the people who made them happy by providing them a lot of precious gifts. So this prince became very happy and he rewarded the honest old man with a piece of silk. Silk was very costly in those days, my dear children, and with some valuable clothing along with other presents. So the honest old man was full of presents. He went home very happily. Okay, now see, since he is very good, everything which is happening towards him is very good. But the old covetous and stingy old couple, they were very bad. So from the beginning, only bad things are happening to them. Okay. Now this old gentleman, this honest old man, came home with a lot of gifts which were provided by the prince. And this was also noticed by the stingy old couple. They came to know about, okay, this is the magic. The ash of the mortar, if it is sprinkled on the trees, it provides a lot of it resurrects the tree. So they came to know about it and they wanted to try that. Now we are going to see what happened to the stingy old couple. See, as soon as the neighbors heard of the story, they collected all the ashes that remained, and having put them in a basket, the wicked old man went out into the castle town and gave them that he was the old man who had the power of reviving dead trees and causing them to flower. He had not waited long before he was called into the prince's palace and ordered to exhibit his power. And what did he do? Discovered a stingy old couple, no? That old man in particular, he collected the remaining ashes and put it inside a basket, and he went to the country, and he also said, this wicked old man also said he had the power of reviving the trees from dead. So what did he do? He went there telling like this. Immediately this went to the prince, the prince who was in the palace. To his ears, this message reached, and immediately he was called to the palace. And this wicked old man was very happy. Okay, I'm going to get a lot of precious things. I'm also going to become rich like my neighbor, like that and all he thought, and he went there. Now we are going to see what happened there. But when he climbed up into a withered tree and began to scatter the ashes, not a bud or flower appeared, but ashes all flew into the prince's mouth, blinding and choking him. When the prince's retainers saw this, they seized the old man and beat him in a very sorry. When he and his wife found out what a trap they had fallen into, they scolded themselves. So the prince called him to the palace and he asked him to go and check over with his power. So this wicked old man, he climbed on one of the trees and he started scattering the ashes. He started spraying the ashes on the tree. But what happened? Not even a single bud or flower appeared. But instead, the ashes flew straight into the prince's eyes and mouth. We all know how a prince will be, right? A prince will be so beautiful and fair. All of a sudden, when he becomes charcoal black with the ash which was sprayed, he was literally choked and he couldn't see because the ash went straight into his mouth and his eyes. Immediately, the prince became very, very, very angry. And the supporters of the prince became angry enough. And they caught hold of the wicked man and they beat him black and blue. They hit him like anything. Literally, he couldn't even walk back to his house. He went crawling to his house. That was a sorry strait. Okay. That's how it happened. He was thrashed. Only his life was left. They just hit him like anything and they threw him out. So he crawled home. When he and his wife found out what a trap they had fallen into, they scolded themselves. What a bad people we are. See, everything which we have done has become very bad. So that's why we are reaping only badness. So that's what he came to know. Now they started recollecting. They started recovering from their sins. So they came to know whichever thing they have done has been bad. That's why everything which happened to them was always bad. Okay. Then what happens? The good old man and woman, as soon as they heard of the neighbor's distress, sent for them. And after reproving them for their greed and cruelty, gave them a share of their own riches, which by repeated strokes of luck had now increased to a goodly sum. So the wicked old people mended their ways and led good and virtuous lives ever after. So the good old man came to know that the wicked old man was beaten like something by the prince. So what did he do? See, he is very honest. So remember, my dear children, first time his beloved dog was killed by the wicked couple. Then the mortar was burned. So after all these things, still he was able to provide them with pardon. Okay, they asked for pardon, and they did not even remember the bad things which the wicked old couple had committed towards them. They called them to their house and they said, "See, you all were very greedy and you all were very cruel. That's why all these bad things had happened to you all. Don't worry, I will provide some share of my richness." See, the old man, no, the honest old man is very rich now. So initially, he got gold and silver and all the precious articles from the ground. Then from the mortar, they have got a lot of gold and silver. Then from the prince also, they have got a lot of precious things. So now they are very, very rich. So a part of their riches were provided to the wicked old couple, and they from then onwards they asked for pardon. They asked sorry to that dog also, and they started living a very happy and very good and virtuous life ever after. So this is the end of the story, my dear children. Are you able to understand? Now, dear children, think about it. It's a very beautiful story, a simple one and a very worthy one. Being bad, we cannot reap anything. You can't get anything. So if you are going in a wrong way, sometimes you might get money, sometimes you can get material wealth, but those things are not going to stay in our life forever. Okay. So when we are bad, only bad things will happen to us. Our end is going to be something which is very, very, very dangerous, my dear children. History speaks about it. We would have heard about Adolf Hitler. We would have heard about Mussolini. We would have heard about plenty of people who have grown up very fast because of their bad and cruel ways of living. But what happened to them in the end? We would have seen it. It is evident, my dear children. See, life is very short. So, what we have to do? We have to live good, we have to be good, and we have to do good. Is that understood, my dear children? I hope the story is well understood by all. I hope you all will always be good. Whichever bad thing, bad qualities which you all possess, you all might know about it. Okay, which are all the bad things within me? You all might think on it. You all can make a list of it, and you all can leave it at this particular time itself, my dear children. Okay. So when you all are always good, you all can always be good. I know every one of you all are very, very, very good. But small things will be there, no? Some might be very adamant. You all might go and ask your parents, see, my friend is having that toy. I need this toy immediately. He is having a tablet which is from Apple company. It is very costly. Daddy, please buy and give me. Otherwise, I will not eat at all. Some of us might tell like this. Poor daddy, what will he do? All of a sudden, when he has to spend around 50,000 or 60,000, where is he going to go for the money? We have to think all these, my dear children. These adamant qualities, being very harsh with your friends, all these sort of things are going to be the bad qualities which you are going to have. So, my dear children, please leave it off. Whichever bad qualities which you all have within yourself, remove it from your heart right now itself. Okay. So let me see the comments right now. Yes, Gayatri. So when the dog is deceased, plenty of them would just throw the dog out. That's a very harsh thing. I think students like you will never do that. I hope it's fine. Okay. Let us quickly look into the glossary part. Before that, let me tell you the homework to be done tomorrow. Okay. So you would have understood the story very well. Yes or no? Is there any doubts with the story, ma? Absolutely, I'm going to give the homework right now. So it will be posted in the Google form, which has to be uploaded to you. Ma'am will upload it to you in the Google Classroom. I don't know whether you all have got it right now. It will be in a spreadsheet. All the homeworks will be there. Okay. If at all you all can't understand in the classroom, you all can go with it. Okay. Fine. It will be uploaded by ma'am very soon. Fine. So tomorrow's homework will be this. Okay. Now, the rich man became precious overnight. He became very rich. Okay. Imagine yourself as the honest old man. Okay. You have to imagine that you have become very rich overnight. You have become very rich overnight. Now you have a lot of wealth. You have a lot of gold and silver and precious ornaments. What will you do with those precious things you have? So this is your question. You are going to do it within 5 lines, not more than 5 lines. Okay. So I let me repeat the question. So I'll tell you crystal clear. Listen to it properly and do it up. Okay. So imagine yourself in the position of that honest old man. If at all overnight you get a lot of precious gold and silver and ornaments, what will you do with it? So that is your question. A Google form will be uploaded. Okay, a Google form will be uploaded in the homework sheet. Very soon, ma'am will be sharing that in the Google Classroom. So if you go and click that in the homework part, you're going to find a Google form. Okay, in that you're going to write your name, your class, and you are going to upload it. You have to upload it in an image format. Okay, you needn't click it or convert it into PDF or Word or anything. You just write it in a piece of paper, take a photo of it, and just apply and upload it. It's very simple, my dear children. You all needn't convert it into JPG. Needn't convert it into PDF or Word. Is that clear, my dear children? Don't type and all. Please don't type anything. Just write it in a notebook which is given to you as classwork. Take a photo of it and just upload it. If you don't get the Google form today, do the homework, and when the form is uploaded, you can upload it in the form. Is that clear, my dear children? Any doubts with the homework? Don't make me repeat it thrice or 4 times. Okay, fine. I hope every one of you are clear, and I want everyone to do. Last time only 32 plus 4, 36 of y'all have done it. So a Google form will be provided. Y'all needn't send it to my mail ID at all. Okay, y'all don't send it to my mail ID at all. Please send it through the Google form, which will be attached in the homework sheet of the uh, spreadsheet which is provided by the school. Very soon you will get it. Within that, you can do it. It's very simple, my dear children. My email ID is not needed hereafter. You can just upload it there. Okay. Fine. Okay. Any doubts until this, my dear children? Okay. Let me send that homework question through chat to everyone. So please listen, my dear children. Your listening skill will definitely develop if you listen. Imagine yourself as the good or honest old man. What will you do if you become rich overnight? Okay. So this is the question. It is flashed on the chat column. So definitely you all might take a photocopy of it. You can take a screenshot of it. So don't worry, the question will definitely be there above the Google Sheet. Okay, and the spreadsheet is uploaded. Definitely you can click and open it and you can find the question. Beneath the question, there will be a link. If you click that link, the Google form will open. You can upload the homework. Is that understood, my dear children? Any doubts here? Any doubts with it? Any doubts, my dear children? Okay. I will understand the supplementary very well. With this, Unit 1 is over, my dear children. Unit 1 speaks about the goals and virtues of us. So that's what we have seen. So in the next class, we'll discuss the question answers in the lesson.